Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Chloe. I am a singer-songwriter, writer and a guitarist, and as you can tell by the title, today I'm doing a tea time episode. You may have noticed or may not have noticed that I have changed the the title of my life update series type thing, and the reason is because I felt that Not Just Choc was a little bit tacky. And I don't drink tea, however, I do drink coffee. I should have called it coffee time, but I don't think every single time I'd sit down to make one of these, I don't think I'd have just a cup of coffee. I do have coffee today. It's still warm actually. Well, I should probably drink it while it is warm. Basically, I'm not the biggest fan of the taste of coffee. However, I need coffee in my life because I lose sleep pretty much every night. There are some nights when I get a good amount of sleep, however, I need coffee to keep me awake. Let's get into this video. So there were quite a few things that I wanted to talk about in this tea time episode because I haven't made one of these since September, I believe, so I have a lot to update you on. And I think the first should be NaNoWriMo this year, and why I'm not going to say failed, just why I chose not to carry on with it. Okay, so NaNoWriMo, at the beginning I had these plans to just revise the definition of love. The first revision, that was what I had planned to do. And that was at the beginning of the month. And then I believe on day 15, so smack bang right in the middle of NaNoWriMo, I realised that it just wasn't working for me. My revising method wasn't working for me. I think I've talked a little bit about this before, but when I was revising, I had originally made a revision map. I was reading through the definition of love and making a note of things that needed to be changed into another Word document. And the issue I had with this was that I couldn't go back straight away and edit that because it was supposed to be a fast read through, but honestly I don't think you can do a fast read through of about 140k words. That didn't work. That wasn't working for me. So I was then, obviously it was NaNoWriMo that I started again. And I believe my method is here. So I am behind. Very much behind, but I should be able to catch up. Where was I? So then I was revising throughout the beginning of NaNoWriMo, and then obviously, like I said, halfway through I realised that it wasn't working for me, so I kind of took some time away from my document. I just took time away from what I was working on, my second draft, and I think I took 3 days off. It was part of my weekend because I technically have a 4-day weekend because I go to college Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so I get Monday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday off. However, I do work Mondays and Fridays. It wasn't, what I was doing wasn't working for me. So after my 3-day break, I believe I was watching someone's video, and in their video I saw that they had done like a box, kind of like chapter checklist of all of their chapters, and I thought it would be quite interesting to see if it would work for me, because they were revising, and so I decided that I'd create my little chapter box checklist, and you might be able to see this, but I have already deleted 2 chapters, and funnily enough, they're both from Coltrane's point of view. I tried writing in which chapter is whose, but I found that I was messing it up, and I haven't done that. So that is part 1. Then there's part 2 on the back of that, and then part 3 here, and then part 4 starts on this page as well. You might be able to see that, but the rest of part 4 is obviously on the back. So I created this, and so far it's working, and it's better than having a table. Having boxes instead of a table, I find it just so much easier. However, saying that, you may know that I also like to do my writing like session sheets. And so I created a session sheet for my first revisions, and it just looks like this, really. Got a column for section, place, date, start time, end time, total time, notes, and signed. That's that, and so far that method is really working, and hopefully by the time this video is up, my workathon video will also be up. If you haven't seen that yet, go and check it out. If it's not up yet, then future Chloe interrupting. So I mentioned the vlog and my failed workathon. So I have decided that I just want to keep that footage to myself. I don't want to really edit it, and to be honest, I don't want to put the footage out there, to be honest, because obviously I failed the workathon, and then I have a lot of limitations at the moment in my life because of time, and the editing software I have doesn't do everything that I'd like to do, and I just also want to have more fun, but I will probably explain that more I'll probably explain more of that next year. Basically, I need to live my life, spend time with friends, spend more time chatting to friends online. I just need more of that in my life because I've never had it before, and I might as well use the time I have and not waste it, because time is precious. So there you go, there will not be a vlog coming out, and I hope you kind of understand that. And another thing I actually wanted to talk about is working on the Out of the World series again. So like I was saying with the Out of the World series, so you might not know this, but I've been really wanting to work on Adrenaline Rush again, so that's what I've been doing. I've kind of been outlining, kind of not. I'm using a little bit of a different method than I was using for the definition of love and a funny kind of love, because it's obviously not as intensive as my 9-book series. It's only a trilogy, the Out of the World series. It's only a trilogy, and so that's the plan, really. So the outlining is not as intensive as it has been for my TDOL series. So what I have been doing is, because I originally had an outline for Adrenaline Rush, which is this one here, I've actually got a little thing at the bottom here saying old outline. If you can see that, yes, you should be able to see that. So it's got old outline on the bottom of it, and I had to reprint it because I couldn't find my original copy. So this is it reprinted, and I've just kind of been going through this outline, and I have been doing a little pre-outline, but I've been handwriting it because that's the way I've wanted to do it. So I've been doing that. I will actually get the notebook right now. So I've been using this for a pre-outline, and I think I will probably end up using it for the pre-outline for the second book, for the second books, for the other books in the series as well. So far, I've gotten to chapter 11. There will be about 33 chapters in the whole thing, so I'm almost, actually, yeah, I'm pretty much halfway through. I think but I've still got a long way to go with it, because if you don't know, last November I wrote part of the first draft for Adrenaline Rush back then, and I managed to get 45,000 words, and then I cheated my way to 50,000 words because I've never truthfully won NaNoWriMo before. Hopefully next year will be my year. I think the thing is that I need to work on a first draft, because last year, I think the problem last year was the fact that Adrenaline Rush was still a little bit underdeveloped. So what I've been doing recently is reading through my old outline, and while I was reading through it, I've noticed that there are some major issues. For example, there was, I think the main character had some sort of carbohydrate intolerance, which meant she can't have any carbohydrates really without taking a tablet beforehand, and there was just some continuity issues with that. So hopefully I can fix that. Working on Adrenaline Rush has been pretty good, it's going well, and I don't really know if there's much else that I can say. Oh, also, I did finish writing Adrenaline Rush at the beginning of this year, like January, February sort of time. I believe I finished it in January. It must have been January, because I was in a relationship in February. But that is a story for a different video, which is next year when I do my yearly review. I'm looking forward to that, actually. Is there anything? Oh yes, the thing that I was going to say is that my original first draft for AR is 65,000 words, and now that I'm re-outlining the whole thing and adding in Zach's point of view as well, I think it's gonna end up being I reckon it's gonna be around 90,000 words, hopefully, fingers crossed. And so I think that's pretty much everything in terms of that. I guess a few little other updates are college. College is going really well. As I was saying, about college is going really well. I do have some college work which I need to do, but that will come within my workathon. So I will be able to get that college work done. I think that's the only kind of issue that I've had with college. Just people are generally pissing me off. It's actually slightly ridiculous, because obviously I don't think I've ever said this before, but in the music department we only have 2 teachers. We do have a techie. I'm not entirely sure when he's next gonna be in though, because he's been ill. It's a long story, but basically we don't really have a techie at the moment, which is slightly annoying because no one can really use particular studios when he's not in. So obviously it doesn't affect me, but it affects other students. Another thing with college though is, everything with my assignments is great. The actual course is great, I'm doing really well. There has been a lot of drama though, and I am not emphasising when I say there's been a lot, because there has been, and it's slightly ridiculous. But I'm not going to say much because, you know, it's not just me that it's affected. There are other people involved. There are other people that probably don't want this information getting out there. It's just, there's been a lot of hate, a lot of people talking behind people's backs. It's been ridiculous. So that is college, and I think that is pretty much everything for this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below and ding that bell if you want to be notified every single time I upload. Make sure you comment down below what you'd like to see from me next year, and I'll be sure to add that to my list of ideas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!